I'm David with Santan Solar, your one-stop shop for all your solar needs. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Victron Energy's MultiPlus II. The particular one we'll be talking about will be the MultiPlus II that is a 12-volt, 3,000-watt, 120-amp unit. This is a unit that is specialized for like RVs, campers, tiny homes, and small projects.
This MultiPlus II is very compact. It's great for RVs and small spaces. It does have a great cable management system, but you do have to keep one thing in mind. This thing weighs just under 50 pounds, so don't let the small size fool you, but it is a very robust unit.
Now this unit's interior, as you can see, is unique in that it has a AC out 1, has an AC out 2, and your AC in. Now as you'll see, it's only 3 conductor wires that go into this. You have your neutral, ground, and your line. So this is only a 120 input for AC. That means when you put your AC inputs here, you're only going to be using 3 conductor wire, just like that. And it'll go inside this. Now, your primary output is going to be the AC out 1 out, this one right here. This will then give you the power that you need when you're feeding from battery or from your AC in. This will come out. This will be your primary out. Now, if you need to have more AC out, you want to have another line coming out, the AC out 2 only works if the AC in is in from either your utility or generator. This is just merely a bypass. Here you have your 2 posts, so you can hook up your batteries to this. You can use that as for 2 different types of battery banks that are going together, or just the one. You can use one or both, depending on your needs of supply of power. You'll have your current sense, you plug it into there. You'll have your VE bus connections that allows you to use the VE bus connectivity that's in all the Victron appliances and devices that are out there. And these blocks here are for going ahead and plugging in like relays and what have you. As you can see, you have quite a bit of them out here. So this can actually run other equipment, relays, generators, things like that. And that'll give you some extra power. So when you have to go put in for AC power from a generator, some of this stuff will help in that you can go to a relay to activate it. The power switch here is kind of unique in itself. It has 3 positions in it. Right now it's in the off position. So that means that when you are going to go ahead and put it in the on or off or charge only position, this will be the on position. The bottom is for charge only. So that means this unit will be charging any batteries that you have. That's all it will be doing. Okay, I'm going to be installing AC input to show how it's connected. That means I'll be connecting AC input to the AC input here. You'll notice that there's no screws on this to tighten the cables when they go in. You have these little ports here, which are tension clamps. So you'll need something like this in order for it to be used inside here. You push it in, and that releases the clamp tension up. Put your cable in, pull this out, and then that'll secure your cable. First of all, we would need to make sure the cable management is loose enough so that we can pass a cable there. It's important that we can grab this thing. This is a kind of an important part because this cable management must really grip onto this, because remember, there are no screws tightening this down, just the tension of the clamps inside. Of course, you need to remove one of your grommets. And what you'll do is once the grommet is removed, you'll go ahead and find out what size cable you're going to be using, and then you'll just use a knife to cut it. This will act as a sealing grommet. Set that aside. Feed your wire in. Then you want to cinch these down. Now, of course, I'm just going to do this with my fingers for now, and I'll later tighten them down with a socket set. And you want to make sure it's fairly tight, because remember, you want to make sure this does not pop out, gets pulled out, or anything like that. So, and they are pretty long posts, so sometimes a really long socket will be helpful for this, because this isn't exactly a short. It's made to accommodate different size wires, so that's why they make it so long. My particular one is not as long. Okay, so this is going to be my line, this would be my ground, and this would be my neutral. You'll need to get this, put it in at an angle, not just straight in, but at an angle. You shove it in. You'll then take the cable, place it in. Now with this, make sure you place it all the way in as far as it'll go. Once you have it all the way in, pull this out. Give you a little tug test. Make sure that that is good inside in there. And then you'll do it for the other two. Take this, take it in there at an angle, shove it in, that releases the tension. Take your cable, sorry my hand's in the way, get that in all the way as far as it'll go, all the way in, release, tug, make sure it's nice and tight. We'll do this for the last one. This is your line. You'll take that. You'll notice that I'm using ferrules on the end of my wires. It keeps them from fraying, and the clamps do take a good bite on those ferrules when they go inside. So I just shove it all the way in, pull this out. As you can see, this one didn't hold right, so that's a problem. You'll have to just put it back in, make sure it gets fed all the way in, all the way to the back. Then you pull it out. And then it's nice and tight. Of course, you would have cut this to the appropriate size and slipped it over before doing this. But for our purposes, we'll just go ahead and ignore this for now. And there you go. This AC input will only function as the AC output here. This is the bypass. So this will work as long as there's AC or generator attached. So here we are in our warehouse. I did place the MultiPlus II on our board. I have it up and running. Currently it's attached to two batteries. They are two 12-volt batteries in parallel. Now typically in the manual this will say recommended battery size is 400 amp hours minimum. So that means that we're a little underpowered right now because we only have 200 amp hours of battery right now. We would probably want to double that as a minimum for this particular unit, especially if you're going to be running appliances and devices off of your inverter. Currently, I do have it hooked up to AC power. So the AC power that I have it hooked up to is now feeding into this and doing AC output on AC1. As you remember, AC1 will be able to run off a battery as well as it would run off of the 120 volt AC input. Remember, AC output 2 is just a pass-through. So if you're just using it to pass through, you're on shore power, or you have this hooked up to a 120 volt household power, this will just bypass through and still be able to run devices. And if you're using it as well as a battery charger, it will do that as well. So now what I've done here is I removed the 120 volt AC input to this. So right now it's just running on inverter mode at this point. It's in the on position and it's running inverter. That means that right now it's just doing what a standard inverter would do. It'll take the battery power, it's going to feed into this, which is going to convert it into the 120 volt. That way, AC powered, this thing will still be running. My little fan here, that's oscillating back and forth. It doesn't even see that because right now it's just running strictly off battery. As you can see, I took it off the AC. It does switch between the two. So that means that if you do have it to AC and you want to run it on just charger mode, you can do that as well, which will then run from inverter straight to charger mode. Now this, in the on position, it'll switch between the two depending on what the needs are of the system, whether your batteries need charge up or you just want to run it on inverter only and you don't have the 120 volt AC attached. Well, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. The MultiPlus II is a very versatile piece of equipment from Victron Energy. It is quite useful in the small project environment, as I said earlier, for RVs, campers, and like small cabins and what have you. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll have some more product reviews coming in the future.